Colleagues, we do have some items that are in that we are going to go back to.
Item 14 is an ordinance. Just be
Hold on, give us a minute. All right.
ready? Item 14 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Did we do 14 already?
No,
No,
we
it
did
wasn't.
12 and 13.
It wasn't.
No. Okay. Item 14, everybody ready? Ready. All those in... Ms. back. Item 14.
Let's go. Is that it?
No. Item 14.
14.
Members, item 14 is arrived.
Any discussion?
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 16 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed,
During, okay, Councilmember Kamen.
Councilmember Kamen.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for another extension related to the RMS system, which I support. We need to continue to keep this system moving while we work to implement the new RMS system. I'm very glad that IT within the City of Houston has taken over the implementation. However, it would be very helpful, Mayor. Again, we continue to see additional extensions put on for large sums of money. So a projection of how much longer we think this is going to take and how many more extensions will this cost. We're happy to submit that question. Again, I will support this item, but both Chairwoman Peck and I have been working on this for quite some time. I understand the reasons for the extension, but the cost continues to grow. So just having a full picture of what we're looking at would be very helpful in the timeline on that.
Thank you. I understand the extension is to get us through the World Cup. The timing is essential.
Yes, sir, and we support that. We don't have an issue with that. We've had other extensions for this amount and more where it was to get us through to FIFA. So we continue to see these items say it's to get us through FIFA, but again, it's more and more money. So we would just like an accurate projection of how much that is.
Very good. Thank you.
Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next.
Item 24 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 25 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 27 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
And item 31 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor, counts. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Councilmember Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor and colleagues, for the support. I want to highlight this item, which is going to bring significant investment in drainage and flood risk reduction to the near north side area. This will include full rebuilds of concrete, paving, storm sewers, curbs, sidewalks, and underground utilities. It's an area in the near north side surrounded by local schools, high school, middle school, elementary school. A lot of students who walk, a lot of families, pedestrian activity. This will make those commutes to and from the school safer, and it's being done in partnership with Commissioner Garcia, Precinct 2. I want to thank him for his financial support for this project, as well as Houston Public Works for working on that partnership and facilitating this. Thank you.
Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item.
This completes the items on the agenda.
Thank you. Councilmember Kamen, start. Popoff.
Thank you. As a reminder, District C, our annual report is out. You can get it on our website. I first want to thank Public Works Mayor. Last week, a developer, private developer, did not follow the protocols put in place by the city of Houston when they pulled a permit to do some work in Freedmanstown and removed over 120 bricks. The developer knew better because just a few weeks ago they had done additional work, had met with the Conservancy. We had inspectors on site. We had a historian on site. So I want to, I confirmed with the department that our processes were put in place. The developer did not follow the process and protocols. So I have asked the department to issue a citation on the developer to hold them accountable to the extent that we are able, because again, I cannot begin to express the level of disrespect that this shows to the community. Councilmember Thomas just said, again, in the middle of Black History Month, but it doesn't matter what week, what month, it's the bricks that need to be respected and preserved and protected. So thank you to Public Works and thank you to the community members for working with us. We were immediately on site to stop any further work, but developers need to pay attention. They knew the rules, they didn't follow them. Two other items, just so that council understands, the Montrose TERS had a meeting on Monday regarding the West Alabama corridor improvements. How this work came about, West Alabama, Councilmember Alcorn, you'll recall, was sitting on the CIP for over a decade, not moving because of how expensive it was. And we worked out a deal, my office, to move West Alabama corridor project to the Montrose TERS with the understanding that it would be improved. And in addition to that, since we removed it from the CIP, then we could move forward with the lower Westheimer corridor. So there was a whole plan put in place that took several years. I've been getting a lot of feedback from the community that they're very upset because West Alabama was pretty much designed. We paid for that design, and now it's being completely redesigned again. I don't know how much that is costing, but I'm hoping that we can find a way with the TERS to come to a compromise to incorporate the pedestrian safety elements that were so intrinsic to this project that, again, has been years and years in the making, and that actually ended up saving the city money the way that we had worked this agreement. So I would ask for sensitivity and attention and the help of our at-large council members, because resident input matters here, and it's a very critical corridor. We want traffic to move safely, but we also want all of our pedestrians who walk to school, who walk to church, who go to HEB, all of the above, to be able to use this corridor safely and reduce crashes as well. I want to, we didn't touch on it because, again, it got more national headlines, but it has such an impact on Houston. The EPA recently rolled back its willingness to regulate greenhouse gas emissions. It's called the endangerment finding, and it eliminates years of precedent under climate change. And basically the EPA and the Trump administration has said we are no longer going to regulate this. And I testified before the EPA when they were doing the hearings on this. Every single person pretty much that testified was opposed to the rollback. And I speak because of the natural disasters that we have all gone through, the unsound break with longstanding legal precedent under the Clean Air Act. Houston is already seeing the impacts of climate change, and during too many supposed to be once-in-a-lifetime climate events. Remember, we had 9 federally declared disasters in 11 years. During Harvey alone, climate change increased rainfall 40%, costing over $125 billion in damages. We're having longer, hotter summers, more air quality alert days that put our children and seniors and outdoor workers at risk. And we continue as Houston to rank among the worst for air quality and pollution. Greenhouse gases, including vehicle emissions, are undeniably worsening ground level ozone and overall air quality. More asthma attacks, ER visits, chronic illness in communities that we represent if polluters are allowed to operate unchecked. And the endangerment finding is grounded in decades of rigorous science showing greenhouse gases threaten public health, are the root cause of climate change, and create economic instability when not regulated. Climate change is unquestionably tied to greenhouse gas emissions, and the repeal goes beyond political posturing. It's removing a critical tool that allows us as lawmakers to protect our residents. We're the energy capital of the world. Industry is our partner in the energy transition here in Houston. But nothing stands in place of guardrails of federal standards, and without them, cities like ours that are on the front lines are left to face the impacts of increasing extreme weather and pollution that costs American and Houston lives, nearly $800 billion a year in health care expenses alone, which is 5% of our national GDP. The endangerment finding has been repealed, so we will continue to experience worsening floods, heat waves, and more exposure to pollution. So I ask that we continue to all remain engaged because, again, what's happening at the federal level does have a local impact on each and every one of our lives. With that, I conclude, but I do want to recognize the loss of Reverend Jesse Jackson. I'm sure many of us will be speaking about that. I hope we can adjourn in his honor today. When I was 13 on a trip to D.C., I had convinced our teachers, rather than going to the Houstonian, to go to the Supreme Court as Bush v. Gore was being heard and the protests outside of the courtroom. And Jesse Jackson marched down the street in front of the Supreme Court and gave a speech that literally inspired me to get involved in government. So I know he has had a profound impact on our nation in so many different ways and on all of us as individuals, but I do want to lift up his legacy and his memory as we conclude council today.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Huffman.
I'll pass.
Councilmember Ramirez.
I'll pass.
Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to remind colleagues and those that are listening that we have the first of the 2 community meetings for the apartment inspection ordinance Thursday, February 19th at the Alief Neighborhood Center from 6 to 8 p.m. We're inviting districts A, F, G, J, and K, but it's not exclusive. If you can join us, please be there. Our offices, Mayor Pro Tem and my office, we've been doing an extensive amount of outreach. We've shared this with all of the council offices, so we are inviting you to join us in that outreach so we can listen to our leaseholders, property owners, property management, in the format of the meeting so we can really get down to business to make sure that once this item is presented, that it's well balanced. Mayor Pro Tem will lead the discussion with property owners and operators, and then I'll lead the discussion with leaseholders and community stakeholders in another room. And then we have representatives from each department that influences this item and that's responsible for habitability concerns. So I want to encourage you to join us. In addition to that, HTV will broadcast this live, and we do have Spanish, Chinese, Urdu, and Vietnamese translation. And we have subsequent ongoing engagement, and reach out to your council member if you're unable to make it and provide their offices with your feedback. And I want to remind you of the second one, which is Thursday, March 5th in District H at 6300 Irvington at the Harris County Department of Education. I also want to just remind folks about Lunar New Year. 2026 got off to a bumpy start, so yesterday we got to do it again from the Lunar New Year. So everyone who joined on the west side to celebrate, thank you. And I'll be with the Vietnamese Community Center on Saturday, supporting them in their efforts. I also want to acknowledge the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, an icon in America, not just the black community. And I remember at the dinner table, my parents talking about his presidential run. I remember watching his DNC speech and how that inspired me to be so bold and so clear about the hope of America. I later had the privilege of meeting him at a National Urban League conference in 2007 in Orlando, where the then Democratic nominee Barack Obama spoke to the national conference. I later had another opportunity to meet him in Houston while he was sunsetting in his service, his public service. But I'll tell you, the spirit of Jesse Jackson continues to live on in many of us. And condolences to his family and all who knew him. Rest well, thy good and faithful servant. I also want to acknowledge the passing of Norman C. Francis, the longtime president of Xavier University in New Orleans. He was the first black and lay president of a Catholic university and the second black president of a Catholic university nationwide. He is a leader in New Orleans, and we're definitely losing our civil rights icons, but he definitely influenced my family and my community that's still there, and all of those who have an affection for that campus and for that city. So reach out to my office at District F at houstontx.gov if we can be of any assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Peck.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I recently met with constituents in the Timber Oaks neighborhood. This is the neighborhood adjacent to Agnes Moffett Park. For those of you who aren't familiar with the park, it's about 40 acres at the Beltway and Hammerly. The neighbors expressed some concerns about some crime issues, and some people have started putting up tents in the park to live there. So HPD is working on it. We just wanted to let our constituents know that they are on top of it and thank HPD for working on this concern. Also wanted to advocate again for the park improvements at this park with the bond money that we passed a few years ago. So anything we could do to move up that process to get that park revitalized would be very helpful. And finally, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Sarah Singleton in my office. Her birthday was last week, and she does such an amazing job in our office. I can't thank her enough for her service to District A. Thank you.
Thank you. Council members, we're going to pivot back to the agenda. Item 13 has arrived. So, Mr. Secretary, if you'll call item 13.
Item 13 is an ordinance. Just need
Hang
a
on
vote.
one second. Everybody ready? Mr. Secretary,
Item 13 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Vice Mayor Pro Tem Peck, before or after?
Before is fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I initially had some concerns with this item because of the amount of money we're spending on not the pool itself. This isn't Councilmember Jackson's district, but just the heating element of, why are we spending all this money on heating a pool when we have so many other constraints in our budget. I did talk to Councilmember Jackson, and she gave me the whole history of, getting to this point and expressed that she would use service funds to help supplement some of this maintenance on the pool, and also that she would be supportive of allowing groups to rent out the pool to kind of recoup some of those costs of heating the pool. So just wanted to let everyone know how important this is to her community and her district, and that she's putting in those efforts to recoup some of that money. Thank you.
Councilmember Thomas. Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Item 13 passes. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you. Councilmember Jackson did share with us a statement, and just on record in her absence, I just want to share a brief comment of that. Mayor Whitmire and colleagues, thank you for your strong support of item 13. It secures $14.6 million to bring the Tidwell Park Aquatic Facility to life. This is a transformative investment in our community. Nearly all of this funding comes from the state of Texas, thanks to the leadership and advocacy of State Representative Symphonia Thompson. This is not just a neighborhood amenity, it's our city's only year-round pool, available to every Houstonian for swim lessons, water safety programs, and recreational activities throughout the year. It also positions our city to host income-producing swim meets, tournaments, and competitions that can generate revenue and bring positive attention to our community. Thank you for your continued thoughts and prayers as I recuperate from spinal surgery. I can't wait till I rejoin you as we can work to move our city forward. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of announcements. Today, we will host our Economic Development Committee meeting at 2 p.m. This afternoon here in Chambers. We'll have a presentation from the Office of Economic Development on a tax abatement proposal, and Downtown Houston Plus on the Main Street Promenade outdoor dining design guidelines. I know everybody was super excited about that, so we will have that discussion in Economic Development Committee meeting today. And then I want to invite the residents in District K to the South Gessner PIP meeting for a presentation from HPD's Forensic Artists Unit. That meeting will be held at 6:30 p.m. at the South Gessner Station. The Forensic Artists Unit will discuss the use of composite sketches and other practices that they use to support investigations. So if you're interested in that, the PIP meeting is the place to be. Councilmember Thomas has already made the announcement about the apartment inspection ordinance. Just a reminder, that is this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the A-Leaf Community Center. Colleagues, I would also encourage you to continue to send that information out. We did a PSA. It's received lots of views. So we have done a very comprehensive marketing effort to get everyone involved in this ordinance. So when it comes to council, hopefully we have heard from all of the stakeholders and anyone that wants to participate in getting their voice heard about the apartment inspection ordinance. So that meeting will be Thursday, and then we'll have another one on March the 5th at the Harris County Department of Education. So any help that you can give us with your spheres and your communities to make sure that everyone knows about those meetings is definitely helpful. Again, HTV will live stream. We will have monitors of those comments so that anyone and everyone that wants to participate will have an opportunity to have their voices heard. And then also want to let residents know that we're hosting our last Shred Day this Saturday at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in partnership with New Faith Church on West Fuquay. And in addition to shredding, there'll be some other services and resources at the church, so we look forward to seeing you there. Also want to share my condolences on the passing of Jesse Jackson. I did pen a post about it. I remember when Reverend Jesse Jackson ran for president, I was 14 years old, and then again when I was 18 years old. And the thing that stood out to me yesterday when I watched all the tributes was I remember how many people were praying that he didn't get shot. And it reminded me of the heaviness of those times when he was bold and courageous to recite the litany that I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody. And all of the things that he encouraged Black Americans to be proud of. And when he passed, that came back to my mind. I remember all of the people at church and my parents and how we all were saying, oh my goodness, I hope he doesn't get shot. And I just thought it was good to reflect on how bold he was and how courageous he was in a time when that leadership was not common. But look at us now. And I want to encourage my colleagues to continue to lift up the family of Reverend Jesse Jackson, who was a lion who we lost, a courageous leader in our community. And, his legacy will live on. So, Mayor, I know we had a couple of requests to adjourn today in honor of Reverend Jesse Jackson, so I will join that request as well.
Sure.
Y'all be kind to everybody, and make it a great day.
Thank you for your remarks, and I want everyone to know of a community prayer vigil to honor Reverend Jackson will be tonight at the Community of Faith, King's Dome, 1024 Pinemont Drive. Reverend Bishop James Dixon will be. The event is also hosted by Commissioner Ellis. It'll be at 7 p.m. tonight at the Faith King Dome Cathedral in Pinemont. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Peck. Councilmember Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. First, I want to wish the constituency a happy Lunar New Year. For those that celebrate, wishing everyone a prosperous 2026 year of the horse. As well, I want to recognize the start of Lent season today. During this Lent season, looking forward to reflecting and really practicing patience, kindness, and gratitude as well. Reminder of early voting. It began yesterday. Make a plan and make sure where your voting poll is at. And if you don't know, you can go to harrisvotes.com, and you can identify where your nearest voting location is. And then lastly, this Saturday, my office, along with Councilmember Castillo, Councilmember Ramirez, and Councilmember Salinas, are hosting a community conversation in light of some of the conversations that we've had today as well. We're hosting this to ensure that HPD has an opportunity to have conversations and build back trust with the community. It's this Saturday, February 21st at 9 a.m. At the Tejano Center for Community Concerns, located at 2950 Broadway in the southeast part of Houston. If you need more, or you have questions or additional information that you're needing, please contact me at 832-393-3011. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I too want to wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year who celebrate. I also want to recognize our CHIP intern who is in the audience, Nyla Hurd. Could you please stand? She goes to University of Houston and will be with us for the semester in the J-City office. So thank you for being here. Mayor, I sent your office a letter yesterday that was addressed to the issues that community is facing as it relates to the 12 schools that have been chosen to close in HISD. And the letter was to request that you consider having the Superintendent Miles come before this body so that we may address him on expectations, some of the questions that community has regarding data and reasons why this decision was made. As you know, based on the takeover, although there are elected trustees, they do not serve in an authoritative manner. And so the constituents do not have an elected member that they can really go to address these concerns. So our office receives many calls and inquiries regarding the school closures. We don't have all the answers, but it would be good for us to have the superintendent come before us like he has done before, so that we may ask questions on behalf of our constituents. And so I would hope that you would address the letter and give us some feedback on that. Lastly, I too want to give my condolences to the family and the loved ones of Reverend Jesse Jackson. I put out a post yesterday on my Facebook that my grandfather, Reverend T.J. Jemison, who I've mentioned to you all many times, who organized the first bus boycott in Baton Rouge in 1953, was a friend of Reverend Jesse Jackson. And in 1992, when my grandfather was the president of the National Baptist Convention, I remember Jesse Jackson being in the hotel room next to my grandfather. And we were rushing to get to the convention hall, and I didn't know how to tie a tie at the time. And Reverend Jesse Jackson taught me how to tie a tie. And through my Suits for Success program, one of the classes is how to tie a tie. And I have helped, countless young men learn how to properly tie a necktie. And I always think back to Reverend Jesse Jackson being the one who taught me that skill. I'm reminded that, Reverend Jesse Jackson was just a few feet away from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel. And you can only imagine not only seeing your dear friend get shot and killed, but to be that close under those circumstances in that time and to say, you know what, I'm still going forward. I'm not going to allow this to deter me, to bring so much fear that I stop. There's too much at stake. There's too much progress that needs to be made for us to stop now. And you have to be one bold, courageous individual to go through that experience and still push forward. And so he was a champion for equal rights. I, too, last night went back and went on YouTube and saw his convention speech. And those words still ring true today. And he will be missed. And I think it's important that we all not only remember him, but what he stood for and continue to push that legacy forward. So thank you.
Alcorn.
Thank you, Mayor. Colleagues, I want to let you know about something I'm doing with Scenic Houston and the Parks Department on our Adopt an Esplanade program. We have over 7,000 esplanades that, Parks is in charge of. They get adopted out by some neighborhoods and things, which saves us about $3 million a year. But I've been approached by people that own strip centers and stuff, and they want to get involved. So we're bringing more corporate, we're trying to market it to more corporate people. Anybody can come to this. I'll send you the information. It's going to be March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, at 11 a.m. It was actually Josh Sanders' idea, Mayor, to get Scenic Houston involved in this, and they're going to take on a lot of the marketing of the program. Hopefully we can get a lot more of these esplanades adopted and save the city some money. So March 17th at 11 a.m. We don't want it to just be corporate people. It's going to be all Scenic Houston's listserv, but also, your neighborhoods. And we're working, Scenic Houston is also working on simplifying the guide that needs to be updated and making the process a little more, streamlined, so it'll be easier to adopt and everybody can get out there and adopt their esplanade. I appreciate your story very much about tying the tie. That was very poignant. I'm old enough to remember those speeches at the DNC. Incredible. And George and I, my youngest daughter went to Ole Miss, so we'd often find ourselves in Memphis. So one time when we were there, we went to the National Civil Rights Museum, and he was there. He was there. We were like, oh, my God. It wasn't like for a speech or anything. He was just there touring it. I was like, I think that's Jesse Jackson. And George was like, he had a bunch of people around him, so we didn't bother him. But I have a great memory of thinking, how fitting that I'm seeing him at the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. Great day. Thanks for the tributes.
Councilor Salinas.
You didn't say what time the meeting was on March 17th.
11 a.m. It's going to be on virtual, 11 a.m.
virtual.
You'll get all the details. We want to adopt a whole bunch. We have 7,000 meetings. If we can adopt some more, we'll save some more money.
I'd like to start by wishing a happy Lunar New Year and a happy Ramadan to all those who celebrate. And also, just a reminder, we are hosting our first office hours tomorrow from 3 to 7 p.m. We still have a few slots available, so if anyone in the community would like to meet about anything with myself, please sign up on our website to do so. And last, I just want to also extend condolences to the Jackson family and all those who were inspired by him. We would not have President Barack Obama but for Jesse Jackson and Shirley Chisholm and so many others that stood up. And his strength and bravery is a reminder to all of us that we have to hold strong and continue to fight for what's right today.
Thank you. Councilor Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to highlight that you have Lunar New Year celebration at the Chinese Community Center Saturday. Councilmember Alcorn was there, and, they had a great turnout. The weather came in a little bit earlier than thought, but great turnout. And just to say that the community center there, they do such fantastic work in the Asian community, and it's very inclusive, and it's always a lot of fun. Great food in J City down there, is that right? And great food and great fun. But also, too, just a note, the Ethics and Governance Committee meeting is at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Councilor Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor, and my colleagues. I want to briefly recap two important community engagements. Last week, I attended the State of the NAACP Houston branch at the Ensemble Theater. The branch outlined its priorities around civil rights, voter engagement, economic equity, and community empowerment. I am honored to be the second vice president of the branch and a part of the work that they do. And the work continues, and the partnership between advocacy and local government remains critical. And we were honored to have our president and CEO, Derek Johnson, join us. My staff attended the Riverside Hospital Renovation and Expansion Community Meeting hosted by Commissioner Rodney Ellis at the historic El Dorado Ballroom. Harris County Public Health provided updates on the project and next steps, and residents had the opportunity to engage directly on health care access and infrastructure improvements for the community. We are so looking forward to providing health care to a population that has no health insurance. Looking ahead, today I will attend the Colored Carnegie performance at the Hobby Center for the Performing Arts with a group of fifth graders. 800 Bagby, 11:45 today, so I'm going to leave immediately. This powerful multidisciplinary performance honors Houston's colored Carnegie Library, the city's first public library for African Americans, highlighting Black resilience, literacy, and civic investment during Black History Month. Tomorrow, I will attend the NHIP Community Empowerment Workshop, Financial Readiness, Tackling Barriers to Home Ownership, at the Blue Triangle Community Center, 3005 McGowan Street, Suite 300, from 5 to 7 p.m. This workshop focuses on financial literacy and pathways to sustainable home ownership for our residents. And on Thursday, February the 19th at 6:30 p.m., we will host the McGregor Super Neighborhood Community Meeting. This meeting will address concerns related to non-permitted structures and short-term rental activity. City departments invited include legal, municipal courts, Department of Neighborhoods, code enforcement, and solid waste management. Mayor, I respectfully ask for your assistance in ensuring that the solid waste department leadership is present. The community has specific concerns that require direct engagement and accountability. There will be a follow-up meeting at the Good Hope Missionary Baptist Church at 3015 North McGregor Way from 6 to 8 p.m. on Friday night. We are trying to prevent a proposed fuel depot being constructed and operated at Live Oak and Southmore. We have 4 gas stations in less than a half a mile. We have residences which can be impacted by environmental issues such as soil contamination and other opportunities for parties to take place at our gas stations and other issues that sometimes come with convenience stores. Finally, in regards to the exchange today, I have the same concerns about ICE converging on Houston, but I have to reflect back on slavery and how the Black people were not freed purely because of our own efforts. It was, in fact, brave white people who took risks to their lives and families who helped us to be freed. I commend the boldness and passion of the speakers, but I need you to keep that same energy. An organization, particularly of brave white women united, could change the face of these horrific engagements with masked, violent, untrained men. How powerful, compassionate, and impactful that would be. Let's make America humane again. In the words of Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. May Reverend Jesse Jackson rest in peace with the ancestors. I have pictures with him that I will cherish forever. District D remains committed to transparency, responsiveness, and partnership with our residents. Please subscribe to our newsletter at districtd@houstontx.gov, and please go out and make an informed vote. This concludes what's going on in the District of Destination. Are you sure? Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start by thanking everyone who came out to the Moody Park Town Hall last night to learn about the future of Moody Park with the partnership with the county, the enhancements that will be coming, how it's impacting programming and current sport leagues that are there. We had a packed house, and I know people had a lot of questions, and if you still do, don't hesitate to reach out to my office. We are still engaged and involved, and we'll make sure that the transition to Precinct 2 is smooth and seamless. While we were there, a number of folks actually went and voted beforehand because Moody Park is an early vote location. So I want to remind folks, you can utilize Metro for a free ride to the polls. This includes the bus, the rail, curb to curb, the Community Connector, and Metro Lift, all throughout early voting, which runs through the 27th of February, and also on Election Day, to get to the polls and cast your vote. There are 2 more opportunities for District H residents to utilize low-cost spay-neuters through our partnership with PetSet, February 20th and 22nd. The PetSet mobile spay-neuter clinic will be at Zoomies on Canal Street. You can go to petset.org to book your appointment. I went out and visited this clinic when it was at Wabash. It's fantastic, brand new mobile unit, and they are very excited to get this throughout different parts of the city to perform the spay-neuter services. Thank you.
Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to begin by highlighting the inviting everyone to visit our booth to explore the city service and program of Houston's Choice Resource Fair set up by Texas Department of Transportation. We're designed to really help. I'm proud to support that housing-focused initiative because it expands access to essential resources and brings together home buyers, renters, builders, lenders, developers, and trusted community partners at working towards stronger, more stable communities. As we know, our city is growing and expanding in so many different ways, and I'm happy to be a part of that. Most of you can go to our website and see it. By uniting these stakeholders, each fair helps inform and strengthen, empower the neighborhoods most impacted by the I-45 North Highway improvement. So the dates are going to be today, February 18th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the 5th Ward Multi-Service Center in the 5th Ward community. Thursday, February the 19th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Blue Triangle Community Center in 3rd Ward. Saturday, February 21st, 9 to 11 a.m. at the Moody Community Center near Northside and Independence Heights community. So we certainly invite all to come out and get some very needed information. And last but not least, I do want to close by giving my condolences to the family of Reverend Jesse Jackson. I had the privilege during my 4-year tenure in Chicago to work with Reverend Jackson on two particular things that many may not know. The person that's really been labeled as the leader, first the sacrifice for the civil rights movement, was given to the honor of Emmett Till, this 14-year-old teenager who was killed. And so that was a disruption of his grave in Chicago. And Reverend Jesse Jackson got all of us, pastors and ministers and faith leaders in the community, that we came out to speak against this horrific thing to the Emmett Till family. Secondly, I worked with Reverend Jackson after working here in Houston in 2005 with the Katrina Storm initiative that Houston took under Mayor Bill White and many of our other faith leaders, which was a very heavy lift. So when I was moved to Chicago to pastor and lead a church, Reverend Jackson knew of the work that we did and asked me to join with him in helping in the preparation with the state of Illinois in their program for recovery and preparation of storms. So I was really certainly moved by the fact his son and I, Jonathan, we work very close together with some of the local things. So I certainly want to give my condolences to the Jackson family in the loss of a great leader in our community. And I pray that his family and they will get through this. And other than that, God bless all. Thank you.
Councilor Flickinger.
Thank you, Mayor. My next-door neighbor here has asked me to urge everybody to get out and vote. Early voting has already started and runs through the 27th, with Election Day being March 3rd. For questions about polling locations or hours, you can go to harrisvotes.com. Also, we are having the 40th Annual Arbor Day tree planting at Greenwood Park on Saturday. If those of you not familiar with Greenwood Park, it's over in the North Shore area, and yes, that's in my district too. But we're having that at 10 a.m. Come out and join us. Houston Parks and Recreation will be out there. We're partnering with Apache Corporation, Tree Life Farms, and Texas A&M Forest Service. So thank you very much.
Councilor Kamen.
Really quickly, in addition to wishing everyone a Ramadan Mubarak and a happy Lunar New Year, we forgot to wish Councilmember Castillo a happy birthday on Monday. So, Councilmember Castillo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Next week.
Anything else as we express our condolences to Jesse Jackson's family? I'm going to yield the gavel to the Mayor Pro Tem to have the honor of adjourning in his recognition.
Thank you, Mayor. Colleagues, today we will adjourn our meeting in honor of a tireless champion for justice, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. We stand adjourned.